Okay, so I think it's safe to say that if you're listening to this deep dive, you already know that backlinks are like really important for SEO.
Yeah, you could say that again, but like,
They're kind of the key
yeah,
to
yeah,
getting your website to the top of Google.
to the top of Google. Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like solving a puzzle.
Hmm.
And backlinks are some of the most important pieces of that puzzle.
Absolutely. And, we've all heard those analogies about backlinks being like votes of confidence for websites.
All
But
right.
what does that actually mean,
All
when we're
right.
trying to actually build a backlink strategy?
Well, think about it like this. What kind of content do you personally bookmark or share?
Hmm.
Usually it's something insightful, right?
Like an in-depth guide or something?
Exactly, like an in-depth guide or maybe a piece of original research, you
Or
know?
those like really visually appealing
Yeah,
infographics.
those are great.
I love those.
Exactly. So that's the kind of value that you need to create if you want to attract natural, high-quality backlinks. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
But creating that kind of content, it can be so time-consuming, you know?
It is.
Is it really worth the effort?
It definitely takes effort,
Mm-hmm.
but the payoff can be huge EE.
Oh,
Think of it this way.
okay.
A single backlink from a website like Forbes
Whoa, okay.
can be worth more than hundreds of low-quality links from random blogs.
Oh, wow.
So it's not just about getting any link back to your site.
Right, it's got to be a good link.
It's about attracting those glowing recommendation letters from websites that Google already trusts and knows are authoritative.
Okay, so besides creating awesome content, are there any other like proven strategies we can use to get those top tier backlinks?
Yeah, for sure. There are a few key tactics that we can dive into, but before we get there, let's quickly break down exactly what makes a backlink high quality in Google's eyes.
Okay, yeah, because I have a feeling this is about to get way more nuanced than just good versus bad backlinks.
Yeah, you're catching on quickly.
Ah,
So remember those recommendation letters we talked about? Well, Google looks for four main qualities in those letters.
okay.
First, they check to see who wrote the letter. Is it from a source Google already knows and respects?
Right, so like the website's authority.
Exactly.
So like if the New York Times linked to my cat blog, that would be amazing, but probably not going to happen.
Haha, exactly. And that brings us to the second point, relevance.
Okay.
Google wants to see that the recommendation makes sense.
Okay.
So if your website is about digital marketing, a link from another marketing site is going to carry a lot more weight than that link from the New York Times.
Gotcha. So it has to be from a trusted source that's also relevant to MY content.
Right.
Okay, well,
The third point is what we call editorial placement.
okay.
And this means that someone chose to link to your website naturally because they genuinely found your content valuable.
Hmm.
So it's not a paid link or part of some shady link scheme.
So Google can tell if I'm trying to like cheat the system with sneaky backlink tactics.
Let's just say Google is very smart.
Okay.
Which brings us to the fourth and final point, anchor text.
Anchor text.
Yeah, that's the clickable text that links back to your site.
Right.
It should be relevant and natural, not stuffed with keywords.
Okay.
Imagine a backlink that just says, click here.
Right.
That doesn't tell Google very much.
Yeah.
But a link that says, learn more about building high-quality backlinks. Now that's helpful.
Oh, so even the wording of the link matters.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
all about choosing the perfect words for your glowing recommendation letter.
I like that.
So now that we know what Google is looking for, let's dive into those proven strategies for actually getting those high-quality backlinks.
Okay, let's unlock the secrets.
You're right.
So the first strategy that I'm seeing here is publishing link-worthy content.
Yes.
I'm guessing this goes beyond just like writing a decent blog post.
Absolutely. We already touched on the type of content that tends to attract backlinks naturally,
Right.
like original research, ultimate guides, and visually appealing infographics.
But how do we come up with those winning content ideas?
Hmm.
I feel like I've seen a million ultimate guides out there already.
Yeah, you have to go deeper than the surface level stuff.
Hmm.
What unique perspective can you offer?
Okay.
Maybe you have access to data that nobody else has.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can create a really practical guide that people will actually want to bookmark and reference.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot where my expertise intersects with what people actually want to read and share.
Think about it this way. If you were writing the only piece of content on a topic that you would ever need, what would you include?
Mm.
That's the level of depth and value you should aim for.
Okay. Challenge accepted.
Right.
Now, what about guest blogging?
Yeah?
I've heard that can be a great way to get backlinks, but it also seems like it could be easy to just get lost in a sea of guest posts.
Yeah, you're right. It's not about spamming guest post networks.
Oh, okay.
It's about strategically targeting high-authority websites in your niche and offering them truly valuable content.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it like writing a guest lecture at a prestigious university. You wouldn't just show up with a mediocre presentation, would you?
Definitely not.
You'd want to bring your A game and impress everyone. Yeah. So guest blogging is kind of like that.
Oh, so it's like pitching a guest lecture to the best websites in my field.
Exactly.
Okay.
And just like with that guest lecture, your pitch needs to be top-notch. You need to convince the website owner that your content will genuinely benefit their audience and bring something new to the table.
Now I'm starting to feel a little overwhelmed.
Uh-huh.
It sounds like a lot of work to find these opportunities and craft the perfect pitch and then create the content itself.
It does take effort, but the rewards can be significant.
Okay.
A single backlink from a high-authority site can have a huge impact on your SEO.
Right.
Plus, you're building relationships and establishing yourself as an expert in your field.
Okay. I see the long-term benefits here.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about something that sounds a bit more like a secret weapon. HRO.
Ah, yes. HRO.
What is that?
It stands for Help a Reporter Out, and it's a free service that connects journalists with expert sources.
Wait, so I could potentially get featured in major publications through HO.
You can
How does that work?
you sign up for HRO and receive daily emails
Okay.
with queries from journalists looking for sources on specific topics.
Mm-hmm.
If you see a query that aligns with your expertise, you respond with a concise, insightful answer.
Wow. I'd never even thought about using HARO for backlinks.
Yeah.
It sounds like a fantastic way to get your expertise in front of a wider audience and potentially score a link from a high-authority publication.
Exactly. Imagine being featured in Forbes or Entrepreneur.
Whoa.
That kind of backlink can be a game changer for your SEO.
Okay, so we've got publishing incredible content, guest blogging, and HARO strategies. What else can we add to our backlink arsenal?
Let's talk about a tactic that often flies under the radar, but can be surprisingly effective: broken link building.
Broken link building.
Yeah.
That sounds a little ominous. What is that all about?
It's actually pretty simple. Websites often have broken links.
Oh, like links that lead to a 404 page.
Yeah, exactly. Meaning links that lead to pages that no longer exist.
Right.
These broken links are bad for user experience and can hurt a website's SEO.
So do I become like a digital detective, hunting down broken links and reporting them?
That's the spirit.
Okay.
You can use tools like Ahrefs or Check My Links to find broken links on relevant websites.
Okay.
And then you reach out to the website owner and politely let them know about the broken link. But here's the key. You also suggest replacing it with a link to your relevant content.
Ah, so it's not just about being a good Samaritan. It's about strategically offering a solution that benefits both of us.
Exactly. It's a win-win situation.
I like it.
You help the website owner improve their site by fixing a broken link, and you gain a valuable backlink in return.
Okay, I'm adding broken link building to my list of must-try strategies.
All right.
Now, what about learning from our competitors? Is
Yeah.
it something that we should be doing?
Absolutely. Analyzing your competitors' backlink profiles can be incredibly insightful. By using tools like Ahrefs, SEMrush, or Moz, you can see where your competitors are getting their backlinks from and what kind of content is attracting those links.
So it's like peeking into their playbook and figuring out what's working for them.
Exactly. Let's say your competitor has a blog post titled Top 10 SEO Tools that's attracting a ton of backlinks.
Right.
You could create an even better resource, perhaps, the ultimate guide to SEO tools in 2024.
Okay.
And then reach out to the websites linking to your competitor's post and suggest they link to your more comprehensive guide instead.
That's brilliant. It's like leveraging their research to uncover like hidden backlink opportunities.
It's a smart way to work smarter, not harder.
Love that.
You're essentially tapping into a network of websites that are already interested in content similar to yours.
Okay. I'm feeling a lot more confident about building a solid backlink strategy now.
But
We've covered 5 proven tactics, and I'm starting to see how they can all work together to boost my website's authority in Google's eyes. But before we get too excited, let's shift gears a bit and talk about some common backlink mistakes to avoid.
yeah, that's a great point. We don't want to undo all our hard work by accidentally tripping over some common pitfalls.
Right.
And one of the biggest mistakes people make is buying backlinks.
Buying backlinks? I've heard that's a big no-no in the SEO world.
It is. Buying backlinks is a clear violation of Google's guidelines.
Oh, okay.
And it can lead to serious penalties that can plummet your website's ranking.
But why is it so bad? I mean, if I'm getting links back to my site, isn't that a good thing?
It might seem like a quick fix, but Google is incredibly sophisticated. Think of it like this, man. Google wants to see that your website is earning links naturally because it's providing real value.
Okay.
When you buy links, you're essentially trying to manipulate the system, and Google doesn't like to be manipulated.
So it's like buying your way onto the dean's list instead of actually earning those grades.
Exactly.
You might get away with it for a while, but eventually you're going to get caught.
Exactly. And the consequences can be harsh. Google can penalize your website, pushing you down in the rankings, or even removing you from the search results altogether.
Yikes. That's a risk I'm definitely not willing to take. So buying backlinks is off the table.
Good.
What other backlink traps should we be aware of?
Another common mistake is using spammy directories.
Spammy directories.
Yeah, these are websites that exist solely to sell backlinks.
Oh.
They offer little to no value and are often filled with low quality or irrelevant links.
So how do we know if a directory is legitimate or just a link farm? Are there any red flags?
One of the biggest red flags is if a directory asks for payment in exchange for a backlink.
Oh, okay.
Legitimate directories usually don't operate that way.
Gotcha.
Also, pay attention to the quality of the websites listed in the directory.
Okay.
If you see a lot of spammy or low-quality sites, it's probably best to steer clear.
That makes sense. I'll definitely be more discerning about the directories I submit my website to. What about anchor text? Are there any mistakes we should avoid there?
Remember how we talked about anchor text being relevant and natural?
Yeah.
Well, a common mistake is over-optimizing anchor text.
Okay.
That means using the exact same keyword-rich anchor text for all your backlinks.
So instead of saying, learn more about SEO, I shouldn't use that exact phrase for every single backlink.
Right, when you use the same keyword-rich anchor text repeatedly, it starts to look unnatural and spammy to Google.
Okay.
Think of it like trying too hard to impress someone. It comes across as insincere.
So it's all about finding that balance between using relevant keywords and keeping the anchor text natural and diverse.
Exactly. And speaking of relevance, don't underestimate the importance of context when building backlinks.
Okay.
Backlinks should always be contextually related to your site. A backlink from a website about gardening isn't going to do much for your website about digital marketing.
Right. It just doesn't make sense.
It just doesn't make sense. Google wants to see that the websites linking to you are actually related to your content.
Yeah.
It's like getting a recommendation from someone in a completely different field.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't carry the same weight.
It's all about building a backlink profile that makes sense to Google.
Yes.
You want those links to come from trusted, relevant sources, and you want the anchor text to be natural and diverse.
Exactly.
So to sum up this section on mistakes, it's really about focusing on earning backlinks naturally through high-quality content and strategic outreach, not trying to game the system with shortcuts or manipulative tactics.
You nailed it. Quality over quantity. Always remember Google is smart, and it's constantly getting smarter. Trying to trick the system is only going to hurt you in the long run.
Okay, I'm feeling a lot more confident about navigating the world of backlinks. Now we've covered the fundamentals, explored proven strategies, and even learned how to avoid some common mistakes.
Good.
But I'm curious, is there anything else we should keep in mind as we embark on our backlink building journey?
There are definitely a few more insights that can help you maximize your efforts. But before we dive into those, let's take a quick pause for a word from our sponsor.
Welcome back to our deep dive into backlinks.
All right, so
I feel like we've covered a lot of ground already.
we have.
From like the must-have qualities of a high-quality backlink to those seriously clever strategies we talked about.
Right.
And even, those mistakes we want to avoid.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been quite a journey.
Yeah, it has.
But I think the biggest takeaway so far is that building a backlink profile that Google loves, it isn't just about like checking boxes.
Right.
It's about creating something valuable and building genuine connections.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that it's less like a sprint to the finish line.
Exactly.
And more like cultivating a thriving garden,
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It takes consistent effort, a bit of strategy, and you got to be willing to adapt as you learn.
So before we move on, can we recap some key takeaways
Sure.
for our listeners who are ready to like roll up their sleeves and start planting those backlink seeds?
Absolutely. So first things first, remember that earning backlinks isn't a one-time task.
Okay.
It's an ongoing process.
Right.
It's about weaving backlink, building into your overall content and marketing strategy.
Yeah. So it's not like I launched this massive backlink campaign and then I'm done.
No.
Okay.
It's about consistently creating that high-quality content we talked about.
Right.
The kind that people naturally want to link to. Think original research, in-depth guides, visually engaging infographics. Those are your heavy hitters.
Okay, so we've got to commit to creating awesome content that solves problems and adds real value.
Yes.
But what about actually getting that content in front of the right people?
That's where those strategies come in.
Okay.
Remember guest blogging?
Yeah.
Think of it as building bridges to other authoritative sites in your industry.
Right.
You're sharing your expertise with a new audience and potentially earning a valuable backlink in the process.
It's like that guest lecture analogy.
Exactly.
You're not just showing up empty-handed, you're bringing your best insights and adding value to the conversation.
Exactly. And don't forget about Hey Joe.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Joe.
It's like having a direct line to journalists who are actively looking for expert sources. Imagine getting featured in Forbes or Entrepreneur.
Whoa.
That kind of exposure can do wonders for your SEO and your brand's credibility.
Yeah, that's like hitting the backlink jackpot.
It is.
And speaking of hidden gems,
Yes.
how about that broken link building strategy?
Oh, yeah.
I'm still amazed by how simple yet effective that can be.
I know. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic way to be helpful and strategic at the same time. You're reaching out to website owners, letting them know about a problem, and offering a solution that benefits both of you.
It's a win-win.
It is.
And I love that it's all about building relationships and fostering goodwill within your niche.
Exactly.
Okay. And finally, remember the power of competitor analysis.
Yes.
It's not about copying what your competitors are doing. It's about learning from their successes and identifying potential opportunities that you might have overlooked.
Exactly. It's like having a secret map that reveals where the backlink treasures are buried.
I love it.
By analyzing your competitors' backlink profiles, you can see what's working for them, what types of content are attracting links, and which websites are already linking to content similar to yours.
So we've got our content creation game plan, our outreach strategies, and even a little competitive intelligence to guide us.
You got it.
But what about those mistakes we talked about?
Right.
I'm feeling pretty confident now, but I definitely don't want to accidentally sabotage all our hard work.
I hear you. It's just as important to know what not to do as it is to know what to do.
So let's do a quick refresh on those pitfalls to avoid buying backlinks. That's a big no-no.
Absolutely. I might seem tempting, but trust me, it's not worth the risk.
Okay.
Remember, Google is all about authenticity and value. Buying links is like trying to cut corners, and Google's pretty good at spotting those shortcuts.
So it's like building a house on a shaky foundation.
Yeah, exactly.
It might stand for a while, but eventually it's going to crumble, and we want our backlink profile to be strong and resilient.
Yes, and while we're on the topic of things that can hurt your SEO, let's revisit those spammy directories.
Right. Those are like the back alleys of the internet. Best to avoid them altogether.
That's a great way to put it. Remember, quality over quantity always applies to backlinks.
Okay.
A handful of links from reputable authoritative sites are far more valuable than hundreds of links from low-quality, irrelevant directories.
So it's about being selective and discerning.
Yes. Think of it like curating a fine art collection.
Okay.
You wouldn't just hang up any old painting, would you?
No.
You'd choose pieces that are valuable, meaningful, and enhance the overall aesthetic of your collection.
No, I'm picturing my backlink profile as like a stunning art gallery.
There you go.
Okay, what about anchor text? Any final tips on avoiding mistakes there?
Remember, keep it natural and diverse. Avoid over-optimizing your anchor text with the same keyword-rich phrases over and over again.
Okay.
Google wants to see a variety of anchor text that reflects the natural language people use when linking to websites.
So instead of trying to force keywords into every anchor text, it's about finding that sweet spot between relevance and natural language.
You got think about the words you would use if you were linking to a piece of content.
Okay.
That's the kind of language that resonates with both users and search engines.
This is all starting to make so much sense. We've covered so much ground today, from the fundamentals of backlinks to some seriously advanced tactics.
We have.
But before we wrap things up completely, is there anything else our listeners should know as they embark on their backlink building adventure?
There are a few more gems we can share, but before we reveal those final insights, let's take another quick break. We'll be right back with some bonus tips and resources to help you take your backlink strategy to the next level.
Okay, we are back and ready to wrap up our deep dive on backlinks with some bonus tips and resources.
You got it. You know, we've laid the groundwork here.
We have.
But like any good journey, you need a map to guide you along the way.
Okay, so where do we find these backlink maps?
Well, first, I highly recommend exploring some of the fantastic SEO blogs and websites out there.
Oh, yeah.
Think of them as your trusty guidebooks, packed with expert insights and practical advice.
Do you have any favorites that you recommend checking out?
Absolutely, Moz is a classic.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Moz.
Yeah, they've been around forever and offer a wealth of information on all things SEO.
Awesome.
Search Engine Journal is another great one.
Mm-hmm.
They stay on top of the latest trends and have some seriously insightful articles.
Okay.
And if you're looking for in-depth backlink strategies, you can't go wrong with Backlinko.
Backlink, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
So that's a great list. I'm adding those to my reading list right now.
Good.
But what if I'm more of a hands-on learner? Are there any resources for people who learn best by doing?
Definitely online courses and workshops can be game changers.
Okay.
They provide like a structured learning path
Right.
and often include quizzes, assignments, and even certifications to solidify your knowledge.
Do you recommend any specific platforms?
Yeah, platforms like Udemy, Coursera, and SEMrush Academy all offer fantastic SEO courses, including modules dedicated specifically to backlink building.
Perfect. So you can learn at your own pace
Exactly.
and revisit concepts as needed and even connect with other learners in the online forums.
That's a great way to learn.
Okay, so we've got our guidebooks, our online courses, and our trusty backlink toolkit ready to go.
You got it.
Is there anything else we should keep in mind as we navigate this ever-evolving world of SEO?
Don't underestimate the power of networking.
Oh, yeah. Networking is so important.
Connecting with other SEO professionals, whether online or in person, can be invaluable.
I can see that, sharing experiences and insights with others who are on the same journey can be so helpful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Attend industry events, join online communities, and engage in conversations with fellow marketers.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed at what you can learn from others who are facing similar challenges and celebrating similar wins.
It's like having a built-in support system for all things SEO.
It is.
Plus, you never know where those connections might lead.
That's right.
Maybe you'll find a mentor, a collaborator, or even a new client.
Exactly. The possibilities are endless.
I love that.
The key is to be open to learning, sharing, and connecting with others in the SEO space.
So as we reach the end of our backlink adventure, I'm feeling energized and inspired. It's clear that building high-quality backlinks takes effort, strategy, and a commitment to continuous learning.
It does, but it's worth it.
Yeah,
It's not a magic bullet, but it's one of the most powerful tools in your SEO arsenal.
absolutely.
When you focus on creating valuable content, engaging in strategic outreach, and building genuine relationships, the backlinks will naturally follow.
And those backlinks can make all the difference, in boosting your website's visibility, driving traffic, and ultimately achieving your online goals.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Awesome.
Remember, avoid those tempting shortcuts, stay patient, and never stop learning. The world of SEO is constantly evolving,
Right.
but those core principles of building a strong and trustworthy backlink profile remain timeless.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a sense of excitement and empowerment. You have the knowledge, the strategies, and the resources to build a backlink strategy that will take your website to new heights.
Absolutely. Keep exploring, keep experimenting, and keep building those high-quality backlinks that will propel your website to the top of the search results.
And with that, we'll bring this deep dive to a close. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep optimizing and keep growing.